Okay. Hi, my name's Tom Lake. I'm just going to introduce our illustrious president, Bob, who's going to run the meeting efficiently. Get us out of here in an hour, okay, Bob?
Or less.
Or less. This is a new photo that we have without the greenery, but it sort of looks nice. We've come a long way.
Yes.
So there's no actual service today?
It's the annual meeting.
Yeah, I know it is. I mean,
Yeah,
that's it?
yeah. But it's going to be exciting, yeah.
No, I just thought somebody was speaking.
No, we want to cut it short, okay?
Hey, Don, do you want to let people know what the card is for that's going around?
I don't know what the card is
Dan's
for.
gonna announce it, I understand.
I will announce that.
All right, Ellen, just
I
wait.
need to go around yet.
Well, it is.
All right. I said wait.
Okay, all right. Well,
Nobody said.
boy, the voice from above is different this week. All right, Bob, come on up here. This will be a board effort. Different people will be presenting different slides, okay?
Well, I'm going to lead this meeting with great confidence because I've been assured that I will be prompted by cues to be read behind me.
Yeah, yeah.
And I'm ready right now. Welcome. Do we have enough members?
Well, let's just do a count here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, not yet, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, plus, we've got some absentee ballots up here. 18 plus 8, that's 26, so that's a quorum. We have 62 members.
All right. Therefore, I hereby call this meeting to order. New members. Have the
Yeah.
new members signed the book, Don?
Yeah, they have, but we do call for anybody who wants to, who feels the rapture to come on.
If you feel an enthusiastic urge to sign the book, now's the time to do it. Any new members wish to join up? Okay. Then we're ready for the next cue. Chalice lighting, of course. Can we have an enthusiastic volunteer to light that chalice? Lynn, thank you, Lynn. Struck a light the first time. This is obviously a sign from above. Reading of the 7 principles. We covenant and affirm the intent of the word of allegiance to every person.
In the inherent worth and dignity of every person, justice, equity, and compassion in human relations, acceptance of one another, and encouragement of spiritual growth and conversations, with free and responsible search for truth and meaning, the right conscience, and the use of the democratic process within our congregations and in society at large. The goal of world community is peace, liberty, and justice for all. Respect for the independent and all citizens with spiritual rejoicing.
Next. And my next cue is.
Yeah.
The computer is frozen. Give me 1 minute.
Oh, yeah.
Computer froze.
Frozen?
you can use her ginger ale and thaw it out.
This week's team works.
She can escape and she'll go out.
Don to the rescue. As you can see in the past, as acting president, I have been aided immensely by the prompting of other members of the board, including Don and Brad. Contributed most generously with their time and effort. This is the exciting part. Okay. The year in review, progress, administrative connections.
Tell a story, Bob, just a minute. Yeah, we'll do that.
Well, one of the things that we've had a lot of help with, and we had a lot of help from Allison, our incoming president, in working on a plan for the future, a strategic plan. And she has been most helpful in managing that and in developing ideas and presenting them both to the board and to the members.
We'll talk about that, Bob. Maybe if we have time, we want to.
Minor.
So we're changing computers, I think, so I'll explain the card. It wasn't supposed to go around quite yet, but I'll just do it with a joy. Today is Paula's 73rd birthday.
Can you be on the, thank you.
Paula's 73rd birthday is today. Because of her illness, she assumes this is her last birthday. We'll hope that she is probably wrong. She wanted to come today. She was in the hospital for 3 days this past week, second time in 2 weeks with a blood infection, which she feels has been correctly identified, and she's on antibiotics, and she's feeling good and stronger about this next stage. The card, because it's her birthday, would you please just sign, wish her a happy day. I'm going to go out and see her later, so I'll take it up there. So that's the card, okay, for Paula for her birthday, and for strength, moving forward, hopefully. All the medical care she's receiving will help her, so. And maybe we can skip to joys and concerns right now. Oh, no, he's got
Any
it.
other joys and
He's got it.
concerns?
Yeah, that's a good idea.
The greenhouse is going to be delivered on Wednesday.
Yay!
We have enough people, they're gonna be here.
Yeah, they just gonna deliver it with a tow truck. Place it down in the back area.
Any other joys and concerns?
I can do it, Bob.
And dropping the final rock will be done, expressing the joys and concerns that are unexpressed heretofore.
Maybe I could take this one, Bob.
Okay.
We got a special seat for you right here. You don't have to go down the stairs. So this is just a slide to remind us that we do have a committee structure, even though it wasn't fully implemented this year. The board took a lot of responsibility on. There's the administration committee, which I'm supposed to be head of, and that just takes care of everything that goes around the building, plus financial stuff. So Carrie, you're going to be on that committee by default. So for example, with the greenhouse coming in Wednesday, we got to get the gravel foundation ready for that. Richard has been helping me level that out, and he's going to continue helping, right? Yeah, we got to get it done by Wednesday. But there's all sorts of things that, and we'll talk about that later. Connections Committee, we've got a lot of different connections, starting with the newsletter and the caring circle. Talk about that later. If you're interested in that committee, let the board know, and we need to start making a list of committee members for next year. And finally, the program committee, which the board has assumed the duties of this year. We need somebody, or two somebodies, or maybe three somebodies, to sort of head that up. This is a considerable amount of work. It's, I think, the main thing that we have to do here to bring you quality, what do we get? Compelling programs, yes. Okay, next slide. So, just briefly, I thought we would just go through the year briefly. We divided the programs into spiritual, environmental, social action, and community. And so, give us about 5 seconds on each one of these slides, Ann. These are the spiritual growth slides. There's two. Just to remind you of what we had here Sunday morning. So we tried, our members expressed an interest in environmentalism, so we tried to bring in different people to talk about efforts to improve our environment. And we try to be aware of local social action efforts. So each month, we didn't do it every month, but we tried to bring in some outside agency. And finally, we had just some community events, usually the fourth Sunday in the month. And so this is just one slide. That's just boring, but there's a lot of things that administration committee needs to get done. Keep this building semi-clean and open. Make sure we have some capital improvements done every year. This is just an idea of what little things need to be done, and maybe some of you aren't aware that there's considerable amount of work to be done in the fall to get ready for the season. Next. So, Ann, why don't you talk about from up above? Push the fourth mic and talk about connections a little bit. Ann does the newsletter, that's why I'm asking.
Yes,
Well, get closer to the mic.
hello, I can't hear.
The fourth button, is the orange mute?
Yeah,
Push it.
I don't know what to do.
Push that orange mute button.
To say mute or not say mute?
If it's orange, push it down.
It's red, I don't know.
All right, it should be working. Tap on the microphone.
This,
Yeah.
can you hear me?
No, not really.
Just talk loud.
Yeah, okay.
It's okay.
Uh-oh. I can do it. You don't have to come down.
There we go.
Okay.
Okay, it's a good thing I'm not on the tech committee. I don't know what Don wants me to say about connections. I'm doing a newsletter. It comes out every Thursday. I appreciate input. I don't know what else.
Paula,
to be recognized?
Paula was the newsletter editor after Elizabeth left. Paula took over because of Paula's health issues. She no longer could carry it on, so I have taken over the editorial position. Kate and Nancy Miller and Don help edit it before it gets sent out. We send it out to 206 people, and about 90 of those people actually open it.
She's underestimating. It was 98 this week. And the Caring Circle meets every month, second Wednesday, via Zoom. These are the people that show up at that Zoom meeting. And we talk about people that could possibly need a visit or something special. Okay, next slide.
Hold it.
Yes.
I wonder if this might be an opportunity to thank Don and Ann for
Yeah.
all the places.
That's enough. Okay, and you could really introduce this. We just have a small bylaw revision. The part in red is how our bylaws are stated. It didn't read right to Ann, and I had to agree with her. So it's just a small English kind of thing to revise the red to the blue below. The question is, for each individual that's going to enter into the board, they need to answer to the negative to those blue questions. And the way it read in the red, it was as if that person needed to vouch for everybody on the board. So it's just, it's not anything new. We passed this last year, the red part, but we're just making it a little bit better, understandable, and clearer language. Any questions on that? Yes, Maureen.
Is this something that comes down from above, that we have to have this in our bylaws?
Well, Allison, you could probably speak to that.
Yeah, in order to be a not-for-profit and be designated technically as a church, which we are, that's how we get our not-for-profit status, then you have to be, you may not have people who have been convicted of a felony, people who have been convicted of a misdemeanor and whatever here. They may not serve on your board, and you have to affirm that no one with this past is serving on your board. So we're just doing this to be in compliance with federal and state laws. And so we did it last year, the red, and that was copied and pasted right out of the law. But you can see you have to, we have to answer the question in red on the forms that we fill out to maintain our status. And so we copied and pasted it right out of the regulations, and it doesn't read right to be in the bylaws. So that's just the change to blue. But yeah, we did have a long conversation about it on the board last year. Do we care? Is this a big deal? Is this limiting to people that you want to, be able to participate in society, but we're doing it just in response to the law.
I can think of one person in particular who cannot be on the board of UUSRF because of a felony conviction. Any other questions? All right, you'll be asked to vote on this in the ballot coming up. Next. Okay, Brad, your show.
Good morning again. Little departure from the way we've done it in the past. It has been consolidated a little bit to make it easier to go through. Oh, good. And I'm going to start with the balance sheet, which will become apparent when we get into the actual budget itself. At the end of last fiscal year, we were sitting on the 6/1 dates. The assets were $420,000 and change. The liabilities were just under $40,000. Heck of a good position to be in. Of course, good portion of the assets out of $390,000 for the building and grounds. At the end of March, because the budget was originally set up and worked on based upon the first 3 quarters of the fiscal year, you can see that our assets were increased by $424,000. By about $4,000 to $424. Our liabilities went down by $4,400, and that is all from the self-financing. When we've self-financed for all of the, for the siding and the roof and the other improvements and the furnace. We owe for 15 years what we could have gone to the bank to do and paid them the interest. We did is we decided to pay each other the interest. People that invested in this and gave us money over 15 years get back their principal plus an interest component of that. And that goes down by $4,400 every year. We are now starting year 8. So we're halfway there. Overall, our equity went up by $8,500 over the past year. It'll probably end up a little bit more than that when we close the actual books for the end of this fiscal year. Are there any questions on the balance sheet? Okay. Let's go to the budget. We have broken out the expenses between board, utilities, committees, and other / reserve. Board expenses are things like the self-financing that we pay back, the insurance that we pay, UUA dues that we pay. That we are budgeting $12,000 for next year. We're going to end up somewhere around just under $12,000. That is going to change because of insurance costs. We've already upped that by a couple $1,000 within our own budget process. Just found out that yesterday the Church Mutual, who is our insurance company, is going up to $7,161 a year. Another $1,400. So what we're going to do is we're going to work with the budget we have here and ask you to pass this, and then we will, actually starting Monday, we will be contacting insurance companies and brokers to see what we can do. We've done that in the past. Church Mutual basically came in right about the right number. There were a couple that were lower. We don't know what's going to happen this year. We're going to give it a shot. And the way it's done is the insurance is pooled across the country by these carriers. So if the South has a mild hurricane season and mild tornado season, good for everybody. If, unfortunately, what's happened in the past year and a half has been just the opposite. So that is spread out across the country. Utilities is, there's a little bit in there thinking that utilities are going to go up because coal and oil. Probably about $1,000, $1,200. The committees, we've actually backed off last year's budget. We're going with 9,000 versus 9,650. One of the things that came out over the past couple of years is we needed more diverse programs. So as you saw in the previous slides, there was a concerted effort to try and spread that out, the messages out. We offer payment to speakers, and depending on whether they're a UU minister, they're at one level. A regular ordained minister is another, and non-ministerial speakers are at another level. Quite often, a number of them say, no, I don't want it, just leave it. I'm here to give a message, not to get money. The other is reserve of $3,000, and the reason for this is that as we've learned, and we were somewhat lucky because the insurance company covered a lot of the expenses last year, the previous year for the roof because of the hail damage. There's other things, big things that come up. It cost us $13,000 last year to put in a new furnace. That's that one. This one's gonna go sometime. So you wanna set aside money so you have a bit of a pool to draw from. So that's the reserve. Our plan is to end up next year with $3,000 in our reserve. It's not much, but it's a start. We're a small congregation right now. So the total expenses are, we're estimating somewhere around $21,000. That's probably gonna come closer to 23 now that we're finding out what the insurance is gonna do to us. Contributions are made up of pledges, and that's anybody that is, and we will have a pledge drive, I'm assuming?
Yeah, some sort.
Some sort, yeah. Somewhere around $20,000, we're gonna end up just under 20,000 or more. Donations, a couple $1,000. There's some non-cash contributions that people donate, time, effort, supplies, towels, toilet paper.
Are you looking to flip this slide or no?
No, this is it.
Okay.
You changed the slides on me.
No, I just put the two in.
Yeah, okay.
Okay.
And then, as you can see, program is, we're budgeting $4,100. It's going to end up somewhere around $1,500, give or take, for the year. Administration, $2,600. We expect to spend a little bit more for building and grounds this year. We've got to do something to the doors up there, which is going to cost us a little bit of money. Connections, pretty close to about the same. And our reserve $3,000. Total expenses somewhere around $30,000. We're budgeting to be a net zero for the next fiscal year. That our expenses and our contributions will equal. Last 2 years we budgeted losses of up to $10,000. But we've been just the opposite. We've been to the good for $8,000. We'll be somewhere around 7 or 8 this year. So that's it. Any questions? Yeah.
What are connections?
I'm sorry.
What are connections?
Connections, the connection committee. The 3 committees that we have going: administration, program, and connections. Connections is the caring circle, among others.
Newsletter.
The newsletter.
Do you have a copy of that in paper that
I'll
you
be happy to
can
give
give
you
me?
one. Yes.
Oh, you have one.
Yes, ma'am.
I was just gonna comment, how impressive this is. I wanna thank the leagues a lot too, for streamlining our needs and our expenses. And, I'm just so thrilled that we're in the positive.
Yeah.
And I mean, it's from all of us and all of those efforts.
For many years we weren't.
Yeah.
I could just make a comment. Well, I was looking when we first passed the Pussy Willows, 1991, but I saw the budget there increased to 5,000 something back in 1991, 92. So you think about all those years, just from 5,000 to 30,000, that's not a big increase at all. just, we started the organization with a budget of $2,000. We didn't have a building yet.
True.
Okay.
Yeah, thank you.
Oh, okay, Bob, I think this is yours. We could dispense with this, but
Any
Need the
nominations, any nominations for board members? Nominations are open again.
so here are the ballots that you can mark.
I did it, because I wasn't sure.
Does anybody need, we have pencils in the office.
Yeah.
Should I get them?
You can use a pencil, we're not like the, never sheets. No. No hanging chads on us. Only one.
Does anybody need glasses?
There you go, Peter. We should thank the nominating committee for coming up with this slate. I think we've announced that before. The two Kates, Kate Innes and Kate Jones, and Michelle Foster nominating committee. No, I don't now.
Does anyone not have a card? Are you guys all have a pen? Card for Paula? Yes. Oh, I have it.
You have a pen and a pencil?
It's my pen.
Has everyone voted? Anyone?
Not yet.
None?
Anybody need a card?
Yeah.
Yeah. It is. Right here. You want to count? We'll have the results momentarily. I think you can go to the next one.
It's gonna be a shocker, right?
Oh, yeah. Allison. Allison, you're next.
I hope you're not too nervous, Kate. All right, let's do it. last year or so. And we, I put up here our mission statement. So when you do strategic planning, you always back up and start with your values, your mission statement, your vision. What are your priorities going forward? So we took that approach. You might remember about a year ago, we did appreciative interviews with many, many different people in the community, people who have been a part of the organization in the past, people who are a part of the organization now, to talk to them about what they cherish and relish about this organization, what they dream about for the future of this organization, and then we talk about how we can get there. So our mission statement as it is in green. We've had conversation on the board, and there has not been a final decision yet about what mission statement we want. Green is our current mission statement, which is to nurture our community, to help our children learn, to grow spiritually as we seek wisdom and justice. We talked through a few other renditions of a mission statement. The other one that kind of surfaced is in yellow, to inspire transformation and fulfillment by being a welcoming community of hope, compassion, and acceptance, where people of differing beliefs find support, belonging, and opportunities for personal growth within a free-thinking, inclusive church community. It's a bit broader, a bit longer. There was back and forth on this. A lot of people like the simplicity of what we already have. But ponder that and give your opinions to board members, and the board will make a final decision at some point here, if that's okay. Is that right, Don?
Yeah, I think we'll vote on it at another meeting.
Yeah.
If we change the.
Unless people have strong opinions about it right now. We kind of came down to these two. Keep up with that or broaden. Well, broaden in some ways, but you know, the yellow one doesn't mention children. Yeah.
Inclusive, I mean,
Yeah.
you've got that word in there, so, yeah.
Yeah. In the green one? Are you talking about, Susan?
It's, the word inclusive really covers a lot, and so children.
Of all ages.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Of all ages.
In the yellow one, you're saying. You like the word inclusive. Yeah. Okay, we'll ponder it and provide your input to the board. Lily, do you want to say something?
Yeah, I'm just looking at the vision. I really like that. What if we inspired a vibrant and inclusive spiritual and social organization that is blah, blah, blah. I mean, I like yellow, but I think it could be more succinct,
Right.
simpler, easier
Okay.
for a new person to come in and say, what's your vision?
What is it?
What's your
Yeah.
vision?
Yeah, our mission statement is why do you exist? Why do we exist? What do we exist for? A vision statement is what are we going to be? Where are we going? Where are we going? And so our vision, which people seem to agree with, is we are going to be a vibrant and inclusive spiritual and social organization that is a cornerstone of our communities. That's our goal, big goal for out there. But what are we? Why do we exist? We exist to nurture our community, to help our children learn, to grow spiritually as we seek wisdom and justice. We exist to inspire transformation and fulfillment. Maybe there's a combination in here of those two that somebody wants to work on. So I think this consensus of the board is that the vision statement is good. We like our values, wisdom, justice, compassion. No big need to change those right now. And the mission statement still needs a little bit of work. I think that's kind of consensus. So ponder that. Those who work well with words, and the board will go around on this too. Okay, anything else on that before we go to the next slide? You can click the next slide in. Okay, these are the UUA principles. So many of you know the national UUA went through a process where they re-looked at the principles and they came up with this, putting love at the center. And our congregation voted to stick with the old ones that we kind of liked. But UUA went with these different principles, broader, more, just different. Love is at the center, and the principles are interdependence, equity, transformation, pluralism, generosity, and justice. Nothing bad about them. But then, Ann, do we have a slide with the old ones?
Well, we cut the slides because that
Oh,
was
you
just
did?
a repeat of what we said earlier.
Okay, what we had said earlier, you messed with our slides back, didn't you?
We're trying to shorten it up.
Okay, so these were the old ones, and we had a conversation with UUA, and they said, if you like these better, you can stick with them. You don't have to change these new ones, but you can embrace the ideas of the principles. we liked the simplicity of the wording of these, and we liked the way it was written, just very simple language that was straight to the point. So we're gonna stick with these, even though we hold true to the broader principles that UUA has voted on. Okay, forward. So our strategic plan, then, there you go. Stay on the slide for a minute. So our strategic plan has 4 pillars. One is about place. You know, what do we want to do? What are our strategic priorities going forward? One is about the place, creating a warm and welcoming environment. People want a place. We saw that in spades yesterday. Yesterday, Cameron O'Connor's funeral was held here, and people need a place. People need a space, and it was so nice that we were able to accommodate that family at that moment. So a place, a warm and welcoming environment, especially for families and children. We're still working on that. Our second pillar is compelling programs, as Don mentioned earlier. Programs, not just Sunday services, but having spiritual education and activities going on here in this place, and community involvement. So how can we create compelling programs for services, but have other things going on in this place, related to our society or not related to our society, but using the space, bringing people into it, offering activities here, getting education up and running, and then we as a congregation engaging in the community, which we do in many ways, but we can do more. The third pillar is about people, creating a thriving membership, getting more people to use the building, inviting people to join, partnering with other groups potentially to use this space and partner with us as we grow. And then lastly is performance. Many of the things in the performance category we've already done. Revisiting our bylaws, looking at our operational and our financial, bringing operational and financial stability and strength to the organization. We're in fine shape financially, but if we would like to get to the place where we can have a part-time or full-time minister, then that's another whole chunk of money, of course. We want the structure to be in compliance with legal and regulatory requirements. We updated our bylaws, our board structure and committee structure, as Don mentioned. The board has become kind of a committee of the whole, where the board is actually doing the committee work right now. But as we grow in membership and interest, then we will get these committees revitalized. And then having board policies that support effective decision-making process, meeting management, etc. So just bringing kind of order to how we make decisions and how we function. So those are the 4 pillars of the strategic plan. Any thoughts on that or discussion? Questions?
Good work.
What?
Good work.
It's simple. It's simple and easy to keep track of. And then we have a whole document. What I did put up in place. So every one of these pillars then has a grid with what are we doing, what's the resources that it's going to take, what's the timeline, what's done, and we add to it, and it's a working document. So as Don mentioned, a lot of things have gotten done on the building and on the place. There's a lot more to do. As Don mentioned, we've done the roof, we've done the furnace, we've done the siding. We need to work on the sign out front. We need to fix that front door so it actually works and keeps the weather out. The roof of the SE building needs to be repaired, right, Don?
You're starting to depress me, okay?
No. It's opportunity.
Okay.
Opportunity. Things that need to get done around here. But a lot has happened, and there's a lot more. So that's what the board uses the strategic plan. We review one section of it every meeting on what's happening on that section. How are we building? Okay, next slide. Oh, I guess that's it. Any questions on the strategic plan? Thoughts? Okay. Turn it back over to Bob. There you go.
Please, come to pass the person.
Yeah.
Can we find him?
Piano.
Oh, there you go.
I think without further ado, I'll pass on the symbol of great authority enjoyed by the president of the board.
Again, started this tradition in 1991 when Prescott Berg, our first president, passed the Pussy Willows to Brian Cobb.
There you go. Perfect.
Congratulations.
Somebody gonna take a picture of us?
I think I have a phone.
But is not looking at their phones while the meeting is going.
Interesting.
Oh,
Okay.
All right.
We wish you good luck.
oh, okay, announcements now.
Oh,
I could do announcements.
Okay.
So, these are the things coming up. Special plug for, well, Emily Jacobson coming in during Memorial Day weekend, Sunday. That's a tough assignment. We're going into our every other week mode, summer mode. As Jay Schultes, one of the founders, said, God trusts us in the summer to not go every Sunday. Okay? But we will have a building open for activities, hopefully, outdoors, etc. I can push it's advertised, Fortune, my friend, my foe. Fortune, my foe. I listen to some of this music. It's Scottish, Gaelic kind of music. And you'll see advertisements out there. Catherine Grant is spearheading this, and she's an invited artist. This is a troupe from the West Coast.
And it's here.
And it's right here. This is part of using this space here. And we've got some other uses for this space coming up. Memorial for Jean Faley in July. What else am I missing? Anyway, just look for news in the newsletter. And Brad can announce the votes.
It is unanimous. So I would move that we, in our minutes, make the notation that by acclamation, all of the nominees have been elected as this year.
Hey. We had a vote, but we can do that. You want to move that?
Yeah.
You got a second?
Second.
All in favor? Any discussion? Okay, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Nay? Against? Opposed? Okay, motion passes. Good. And I should have done this during the budget, but we got to thank our outgoing treasurer, Brad Moore, for years. Why didn't you do this, Brad?
It was supposed to be 13, it hit 14.
Okay. And thanks to Carrie again for assuming the mantle. Yeah, thank you.
Big shoes to fill.
Yeah.
Thank you, Karen.
Potluck after the meeting, right? Any other announcements? Because the closing words are up there. So let's all gather around.